Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with another update. This is the 1971 Ford F250 Camper Special. So this is the cab, and in an earlier video we shared with you where it was sitting on our dolly normal. Now it's obviously sitting on its back. So this is our passenger side of the cab, and the guys have made more progress on the metal fabrication. So we're just waiting for one more panel, and as soon as that arrives, then we'll have all the metal work completed. So you can see along here this top drip rail. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up in the video, but this was a prone rust area all the way across, very common in this series of truck. So what the guys have done is cut out the rotted piece. They made a piece on our shrinker stretcher. They formed it and welded it in place. And after we media blast and epoxy this, there'll be no evidence we've even done anything there, but it was quite rotted. We also have another repair. I don't know if that'll show up or not, but there's that area there where the windshield was covering it, and there's a lot of rust inside where obviously that was rotted through and the water was coming. So the guys once again cut that double lip out, made two pieces, welded it in place, ground it smooth. So there's a lot of little stuff like that. And then you can see over here on the cab, so this is basically where the door is going to fasten, and it was all cut away before, and then we basically made a patch for there, welded it in and ground it smooth. I'll get my out of the way here a little bit. And then a very common area on these cabs once again, if you recall in an earlier video, we were just starting to work on this, so we have this section welded in and replaced. There's no metal there at all. And then we did the cab corners in an earlier video. We come around the floor. There's still some detail work to do, but it'll look a lot better when it's sandblasted. You can now see where we've got the new floor pan is in and installed, and then you have this factory correct panel that's our mounting point for the frame, between the cab and the frame. So it's basically a riser that gets fastened. So we have to make sure we measured it properly so it was exact, because that bolts on the front of the cab to the frame of the truck. And then the same thing on this side. The guys will still do a little bit of welding here to close up these seams, and then after it's epoxied and seam sealed, there'll be no evidence that we've cut out the old floors and welded in new ones. So you see where we've put the new floor in all the way around. There's some patchwork that had to be done up here. It's really common on these early Fords, in this one being a 71. So they made a couple of extra pieces in there for the floor attached to, and then we've got the other riser that the guys have installed, once again measured properly. So we have that done. There was the rotten cross member, so you can see evidence of it here, where we have the spot welds, the factory spot welds on the inner rockers, basically from here to there. And then you can see if you go all the way across, you can see it's a fairly wide area, and as you go across, that's where that reinforcement goes. It was completely rotted through here on the rocker and completely rotted through on the floor. So now we have it all prepared. They've done all the appropriate patching. This is all cleaned off and ready, and we've ordered a reproduction piece, and as soon as that comes, then we'll apply some weld-through primer in this area. We'll weld it in. We'll weld it to the same specs the factory did, so we'll have that support rail in. Once that's done, all the metal work is done on the cab, and then what we'll be able to do is we'll take it outside into our other building. We'll media blast all of this surface rust from before, and then we'll apply a special two-part epoxy to bond and protect this steel. So lots of progress on the cab of this truck. This is the 1971 Ford F250 Camper Special. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.